Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full body Pilates workout. Today is a no equipment, knee-friendly routine. We are going to be working through many exercises that are going to be safe for the knee joints. If, however, you come across an exercise and it starts to hurt in your knees, please don't push it, listen to your body. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and get started with a bit of a warm-up. I'm sitting in a cross-legged position. Of course, if that's uncomfortable for you, you can stand. If you are stood, make sure that your feet are hip distance apart and that your ankles, knees, and hip bones are lined up, creating columns of support running up the body. So I'm going to start off by extending the arms out long. Palms are facing down, arms are at shoulder height. I'm going to inhale here, and as I exhale, I'm going to pull my right elbow back, looking out over right shoulder, and then back. And left side, pull back and come forward. So try to keep your hips facing forward as you pull, alternating elbows back. Breathing out to pull back, in through the nose to come forward, and out through the mouth with that breath to pull back. Good, keep reaching with those fingertips. Nice long arms. Stretching into the neck as we pull back. We've got 5. Give it energy, really pull that elbow back, getting a nice rotation. And 2. And final 1, back to center. Take your hands behind your head. Deep inhale here. And exhale, curl. And open. Exhale, curl. And open the elbows. Good. Stretching the spine in this version of cat-cow. Good. So we're rounding through the spine and then opening those elbows and arching the spine. Nice work. Good. We've got 3. Really pull those elbows apart for 2. And last 1. Nicely done. And lower your arms down. Now we're going to move on to our backs, and we're going to go into bridge to warm up the back body. So use your hands to help you to lower down to the mat. Now bridge can be painful for people who have sore or injured knees, so you need to be really careful with this one, and alignment is super important. So we want to make sure that our legs are hip distance apart, our hip bones, our knees, and our ankles are in alignment. We also want to make sure that our heels are directly below our knees as we come up into bridge to make sure that the knees are really well supported. So place your hands on either side of the body. Spine is in neutral here. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're tilting the pelvis back, flattening the back into the mat, and then peeling each individual vertebra up off the mat. Now, when you're up in bridge, I want you to make sure that all those checkpoints are in place. Your heels are below your knees. We're not letting the knees splay out to the side or knock in. They're right in alignment with those hip bones. Now from here, we're going to lower, just hover the bum above the floor, and then gently squeeze the bum and contract the thighs as you lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Lower and lift. Nice work. Lower down with control and lift it up. So every time you lift up, I want you to gently tuck your tailbone in so you're not straining your low back. I want you to contract your core, pulling your belly button in towards your spine, and really focus on those back body muscles, the hamstrings working here, the glutes working here. So lowering and lifting. Good. We've got 6 and 5. Push up through the heels for 4. Abs in. Last 3. Final 2. And last 1. Lift and hold. Squeeze those glutes. Lift, lift, lift. Good. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower down to the mat. Now we're going to come onto our sides. And I'm gonna prop myself up on my hand, or you can be on your outstretched arm, whatever's more comfortable for your neck. Bring your legs into a bent position, creating right angles with the legs, so your shins are parallel with the edge of your mat. Now, this is a really good option as an alternative to fire hydrant. So when you're in all fours and you're lifting and lowering, or lifting and lowering that leg to the side, it can be really strenuous on the supporting knee. But from this position, we can get the same muscle groups working by lifting and lowering that top leg. So I want you to make sure that that top hip is stacked right on top of your lower hip, and that when you bring the leg back down, the knees are meeting up, the shins are meeting up, you're keeping those legs nice and parallel. So lifting, squeezing that side booty at the top of the lift, and then lowering down. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So you can have your hand here on the mat, or you can have it on that glute, making sure that you're really engaging at the top of every lift, getting that little split second hold at the top of the lift as we contract those glutes. Good. Working into the hips here as well. Abs are engaged. Nice work. Keep it up. We've got 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and final 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to stretch the legs out long. I'm going to lift the top leg and we're going to start drawing some circles. So I'm going to circle the leg forward, drawing nice smooth circles in the air. We're contracting those thigh muscles, building strength in those muscles that support the knee. And we're moving slowly and with control. Now, if you're losing stability and you're rocking around in the torso a lot here, I'd like you just to sort of bend that lower leg. Sometimes that can create more stability. Abs are engaged. Working leg is long, and we're pointing the toe of that working leg, pointing and lengthening out through the big toe as we draw those circles in the air. Neck is long. We've got 2 and 1. Now we're going to reverse direction of those circles. Using that toe like a pencil in the air, drawing circles, strengthening the hips, strengthening the glutes and the thighs. This is a really beneficial exercise. Stick with it. We've got 3 and 2. And final 1, lower the leg down. Now we're going to lift the leg to hip height, and we're going to keep it at hip height as we sweep the leg forward, flex the foot, and then push back. So we're lengthening through the toe as we come forward, and then pushing back through the heel. Lengthening through those toes, and pushing back through the heel. So keeping the leg straight the entire time. Good work. Nice. And again, torso stability is really important here. So I've got my hand down on the mat for extra added stability. Core is engaged. Good. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Push it back. Now hold the leg so it's in line with the torso. Foot is flexed here, and we're going to go into some flexed foot pulses. So inner thigh is facing down toward the mat, neck is long and relaxed, and we're just lifting and lowering that top leg, lengthening out through that heel, keeping the toes pulled toward the shin. Good. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to target the inner thigh on this lower leg. So set up for this. I'd like you to straighten out that lower leg, and you can bring that top leg forward like so, just so it's out of the way. It could also go behind the body, or if you're comfortable enough to do so, you can hold onto the ankle, but just make sure you're not hurting this top leg. So it might be easiest just to lower it down toward the mat, whatever works for you. We're gonna lift and lower that lower leg. So you're squeezing your inner thigh muscle here as you lift and lower. Toes are pointed. Good. Now, a lot of people with problems with their knees have weak inner thighs. It's really important to strengthen this area of the body so that you're not just strengthening the outer muscles surrounding the knee. You want to strengthen those inner muscles too, so that you've got well developed strength and muscle tone surrounding the whole knee joint area. Good. So lifting and lowering with control. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Flex the foot. We're going to pulse, little controlled pulses. Good. Whew, these burn. Keep it up. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nicely done. Bring the legs together and use your hands to help you to lift up. And we're going to come over and do the other side. So getting nice and comfortable on your opposite side, either head on arm or head in hand. From here, we're going to go right into those leg lifts. So we're bending at the knees, creating those right angles with the knees, with the legs rather. Good. Lifting and lowering that top leg. So this is your modified version of fire hydrant. You're not on all fours, so it should be a lot more comfortable for your knees this way. Good. Lifting and lowering, keeping those legs perfectly parallel. Make sure everything's lining up as you lift and lower. Good. Not letting that top hip roll back. You want to keep it stacked on top of the lower hip. And again, you can place your hand on your glutes for feedback to make sure you're really contracting those muscles, particularly at the top of that lift. Hold for a split second, then lower down. Good. We've got 5, 4, abs are engaged, for 3, and 2, and final 1. Nice work. Straighten out the legs. We're going to go into those circles. Again, if you want to gently bend that lower leg, please do so if you find it helps you stay more stable in the torso. So really pointing through the toes of the working leg. The more we point, the more engaged those leg muscles are. Using that big toe like a pencil in the air. Good work. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And remember, on every exhale, we're gently contracting our core. Working the abs at the same time. Good, and last one. Now reverse direction of those circles. Keeping the leg completely straight. So you should be lengthening out from your hip all the way out through that big toe, creating a nice long line. Good work. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can relax it down. Now we're lifting that top leg to shoulder height, sweeping forward with a pointed toe, flexing and pushing back through that heel, keeping the leg at that height the entire time. So sometimes we have a tendency as it pulls back to lift the leg a bit higher. Try to resist that. You're just moving forwards and backwards rather than up and down. Maintaining stability in the torso by engaging those abs and focusing our minds on the lower body doing the work. Come forward, push back. Point hard through the toe, flex through the heel. Good. As you flex through the heel, you're also stretching the back of the leg, which always feels really good. Try to relax your neck here. Don't let those shoulders creep up by your ears. We've got 4 and 3. Push it back. For 2. And last one, come back till your leg is in line with your torso and lifting and lowering that top leg with a flexed foot. Lengthening out through that heel. Good. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nice work. Now straighten out the legs. Make your bridge. So move your top leg out of the way into whatever position feels comfortable. So you've got space to lift and lower that bottom leg. Focusing on the inner thighs now. Leading up with the inside of the leg, moving the inside of the leg up toward the ceiling. Squeezing those inner thigh muscles to get the lift. Good. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Now flex the foot. Little flexed foot pulses. Keep it up. Good. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lower down. Amazing work. Nicely done. Now use your hands to help you to come to a seated position. And we're going to move into our ab work. So I'd like you to lower down to the mat. We're going to start off on our forearms. So we want our elbows pulled back behind us, forearms and palms flat on the mat, elbows directly below the shoulders. Now make sure that with all these exercises, we're not rounding in the spine. You really want to be pushing yourself up through those elbows so that your spine is not bent and also your chest is nice and open. We're going to start off with some leg lifts. Now I want you to really point the toes. Legs are hip distance apart. We're going to lift the right leg and lower. Lift the left leg and lower. Lift and lower, alternating sides. So we're really squeezing our thigh muscles, not to the point where we're locking out the knees, but just contracting those muscles around the knees to get the lift, or above the knees to get the lift, working into those quads and working into the abs at the same time. So keeping belly plugged in. Inhale to lift, exhale belly to spine to lower the leg with control. Inhale and exhale. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So as you breathe out, you're pulling the belly button in toward the spine. Good. Keeping that chest nice and open. Pushing up through those elbows. Imagine you have a corset around your waist, keeping everything pulled in. Good. So really try to flatten your abdominal wall down toward the mat every time you breathe out. We've got 4. Keep those toes pointed. 3, 2, and final 1. Nice work. Now we're gonna bring the legs into tabletop. So we want the knees above the hips and the shins parallel with the floor. Lift through those elbows. We're going to extend the right leg, back to tabletop. Extend the left leg, back to tabletop. Breathe out to extend. Inhale back in. Good. Really pulling belly button down toward your spine as you breathe out. Good. Flatten those abs. Good. Concentrating on keeping that chest nice and lifted. Good. Keep the toes pointed. Really stretch the leg out long on that extension. We've got 5, 4, nice tight core, for 3, and 2, and 1, and stretch both legs out long. Amazing. Now we're gonna go into our rollover. So I would like you to take your hands overhead. Legs are about hip distance apart. Gently contracting those thigh muscles. We're gonna inhale to peel up and exhale to reach over. Now if you can't get all the way up off the mat, I want you to start from here, curved back, and then lift and fold over. And not rolling all the way down to the mat if you can't get back up. So we're going to either do the full version like so, or the half version as I just demonstrated, focusing on working those upper abs as we come up, stretching the back body as we fold over, and then plugging those lower abs in on the way down. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, reach and stretch. Inhale, and then exhale your way down, squeezing your thighs and contracting your lower abs. Good. Good. And lower, pull belly in, pull it in as you lower one vertebra at a time. Drop your shoulders as you lower down, reaching through those fingertips. Good. Toes stay pointed, legs stay engaged. Good. 2 more. Drop those shoulders away from the ears as you lower down. Last one. Lift. Fold and stretch. Take hold of your feet, your calves, whatever you can reach. And stretch out the back body. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Rolling up to a seated position. Nice work. Now from here, we're coming back down to the mat. We're taking the hands overhead in a prayer position, so palms are pressing into each other. We're going to bend the left leg and keep the right leg straight. From here, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're lifting the right leg up and we're crossing over to the right side with those palms. Good. Now as you cross over, as you lift up and cross over, I want you to really press your spine down into the mat, pressing low back into the floor as you lift the left shoulder blade up off the mat, working into those obliques. Really reach far with those fingers. Inhale and exhale. Lower and lift. Good. The toes of the extended leg are pointed. Working into that waistline. Really challenge yourself by picking that left shoulder blade up off the mat a little bit higher each time. Good. We've got 5 and 4. Last 3. Lift that left shoulder blade up, and last one, we're going to come up and hold. Hold it here. Lift, 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 and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work. Okay, let's switch sides. Hands overhead, right knee bent. Inhale here, and exhale, crossing over to the left side. Really contracting your abdominal wall down as you cross over. Good. When we say pull the abdominals down, it means to contract the belly button in toward the spine as you breathe out. Good. Cross over, really lifting up through that right shoulder now. Working that waistline, working that control. Good. Now 5 more. For 5, lift a bit higher. And 4, cross over. For 3, and 2. Final one, we're gonna come up and hold and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work. Bring your hands down by your side. Use your hands to help you roll over onto your stomach. And from here, we're gonna come up either onto our forearms or all the way up onto our palms, whatever's more comfortable for you. And just breathe here as we stretch out the abdominal wall. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. For 3, and 2, and 1. Gently lower down. Now from here, we're going to keep our legs about shoulder distance apart, and we're going to get into our upper body sculpting moves here. So we've got our hands on either side of our shoulders. The spine is really long, so I want you to envision kind of lengthening out through the crown of your head. You're going to keep your gaze down on the mat. Chest is hovering just above the floor. We're inhaling here, and we're exhaling to hover the hands up off the mat. And as we do so, we're just going to gently pull the elbows back toward each other and then lower, returning them to the start point. So we're lifting, pulling elbows back, contracting those upper back muscles, and then lowering. So pull back and lower. Pull back, inhale to lower. Pull it back. Nice work. So really keeping that spine nice and long and using those upper back muscles to draw the elbows back and in. Good. Warming up that upper body, warming up the upper back muscles. Start to give it a little bit more energy. That means contracting those upper back muscles a little bit more with every lift. Good. We've got 4, 3, for 2, and final 1. Whew, that's a small movement, but you can really feel those muscles working hard. From here, we're going to extend the arms out long. Fingers are long, arms are straight. Inhale here, and exhale, pull the elbows back. Lower, keep the arms hovering above the floor, and pull back. Gaze stays down on the mat. Do not lift your head here. You'll strain your neck. Inhale and exhale. Lower and contract those upper back muscles. Don't worry about how high your chest gets up off the mat. Focus more on the contraction of those muscles than the height that you're getting. Good. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax your forearms down to the floor. You can have a little breather for a moment before we do our last exercise in this position, which is the same thing we were just doing, a pull back, but we're going to add a hold. So I'd like you to stretch your arms out long again. From here, we're going to lift, pull back, and hold. really contracting those muscles for 3, 2, 1, and then come forward. Pull it back, hold, 3, 2, 1, and extend. Draw those shoulder blades together, 2, 1, and extend. 1, 2, 3, and lengthen. 1, 2, 3, stretch out long, 3 more sets. 1, 2, 3, extend. Last 2 sets. Good, and last set. 1, 2, 3, and relax it down. Nice work. Now we're gonna come over onto our sides, and we're going to go into a 1-arm tricep push-up. So, looks like this. We're gonna take the lower arm and just wrap it around the rib cage. Wrap the hand around the rib cage. We're going to spread the fingers of the hand that is down on the mat. And you might need to make a couple small adjustments as we get into these push-ups, because you need to find that sweet spot where the hand is so you can really feel the work in the back of the arm. So we're gonna inhale here. Neck is long, and exhale, pushing up through the heel of the hand. So you should be able to straighten your arm. If you need to move your hand slightly forward or backward, you can do so. Lifting up, squeezing those triceps, and lowering the lower shoulder down to the mat. Lift and lower. Lift, pushing through the heel of the hand as you lift up. You should really feel this in the triceps. Good. Keep your gaze straight ahead. You don't want to turn your gaze down to the mat. You want to keep your neck nice and long. Good. Push up through the heel of the hand. Good. Lift and lower with control. We've got 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2. And final 1. Hold, hold, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work. Use your hands to help you to come over onto the other side. Wrapping that lower arm around the body. Getting into position. Hand comes down on the mat. Fingers are spread. Neck is long. Head is not tilted up or down. Neck is in line with the spine as we lift and lower, making any of those little minor adjustments you need to so you can really feel it into the back of the arm. Good. Lifting and lowering, pushing up through the heel of the hand as you straighten the arm. Now I want you, as you come down, not to just kind of flop down to the mat. I want you to ease down, keeping the tension on the back of the arm the whole way down. Good. Nice. Good work. Last 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. Nice work. Now we're going to carry on with those triceps. This time we're going to work both triceps at the same time. You have a couple of different options here. So level 1, you're on your palms and your bum is down on the floor. You can have your knees bent or straight, whatever is more comfortable. And you're going to lower, keeping the elbows pulled out behind you, and lift, pushing up through the heels of the hands. So tricep dips that way. Level 2, you're coming up into a reverse tabletop. You're lowering the bum and pushing up through the heels of the hands to lift. Level 3, you've got straight legs. You're lowering and lifting into your tricep dips. So I'm going to do level 1. You can step up the level of challenge if you'd like to. Elbows are pulled back behind. Chest is nice and open. We're lowering and lifting, lowering and pushing up through the heels of the hands. So make sure it's the backs of the arms that are doing the work here as you push yourself back up. So lower down as close as you can toward the mat, keeping the elbows pulled back behind you. Don't let them splay out to the sides. Chest nice and open. Good. We've got 5, 4, push up through the heels of the hands. 3, you've got this. 2, lift it up. And last one, push up. Nicely done. Now, we are going to stretch. We've completed all of the exercises. We've done our glutes, we've done our abs, we've done our arms. So let's just start off by, you can be stood for this or sat on your mat or kneeling if that's comfortable for you. If you're stood up, make sure your legs are hip distance apart. Feet are parallel. We're just going to circle out the arms. For 2, reach through those fingertips. And last 1. Then we're going to bring the left arm across the chest, stretching out the back of the arm, stretching into that shoulder. Keeping the arm straight here, applying a little bit of pressure on the back of the arm with that supporting hand. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take the other arm over. Enjoying that stretch into the shoulder. Regulating the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to come down to the mat and we're going to stretch out our hamstrings. So we're going to lower down, bend the right knee, bring it in toward the chest, and then we're going to straighten the right leg. Now, if you can't take a hold of your calf, you can hold on to your thigh. If you can reach your calf, then do so. Feeling the stretch running all the way up the back of the leg. You can have that opposite leg straight or bent, whatever is more comfortable for you. And really enjoy the stretch. Hamstring stretches are challenging, but they're so important. Tight hamstrings can lead to trouble in the knee and hip area. Can have lots of tight hamstrings, can have lots of knock-on effects, negative effects throughout the body. So it's always a good idea to set aside some time to stretch them out properly. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, try to hug that leg in a little bit closer towards you, deepening the stretch while keeping it straight. So this is a static stretch. You can release and straighten the leg on the opposite side. Now, sometimes you'll see people doing this sort of bouncing motion. That's can be really hard on your joint, so I definitely wouldn't recommend it. It's a little bit too rough on those joints, and especially if you have problems in the knees, you don't want to be doing that bouncing. A static stretch is a lot safer. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, draw that leg a little bit closer towards you, deepening the stretch. Hold it for 5, for 4, for 3, and 2, and 1. Bend the knees. Use your hands to help you come into a seated position. Sit in whatever way is comfortable for you. Bring your shoulders up by your ears. Inhale, and exhale, roll them down and back. Let's take one more. Roll those shoulders down and back. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed that routine. I hope you felt it in all the right areas. I know I did. And I really look forward to moving again with you next time. So enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.